From The Courthouse. It is raining, but we... It is raining, but first of all, it is raining, but there is so much news to happen. It's actually shocking. We're waiting to go in, but my people are saying that an explanation for why the Diddy tried to get Alex kicked out for something that occurred in 2018. Now, you guys, this is exclusive tea. I have insider information. We are going to see if it comes to pass, but baby, it is something. Okay, let me get away from the press line because I want this to be an exclusive. Okay, so Cassie and Diddy. Something happened in 2018. Now, if you guys don't know, yesterday in the courtroom, prosecutors were fighting for Alex to stay in the courtroom because at the last minute, Diddy's team did something really, really grimy. Now, every defendant has a right to say, like, yo, I don't want this person in the courtroom. Oh, also, I want to give a shout out to Mel, NYC Reviews. He bought me water and popcorn. Y'all remember Mel, NYC Reviews? We used to always do recaps of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We still might do a recap. At the very least, maybe we'll go out for lunch and take y'all on the way, okay? Morning. How are you? Yep. They are suited up. Homeland Security. Wait, that's police. No, that's Homeland Security. Homeland Security's out here. You guys, the courthouse is super safe and super secure, okay? Even if I'm standing on the street like a ragamuffin, but I'm waiting to go in. It's in the press line. I'm trying to see if I can, thank goodness it's raining, so there's not really that many people around. But anyway, let me get back to it, okay? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so here's what happened, okay? Diddy... Okay, I won't. Somebody was taking pictures, so you know I was busy posing, giving them face. Okay, so what is going on? Diddy's team pulled a last minute dirty trick yesterday. Let me set up and then I'll let you know what happened, okay? Every defendant has a right to say, listen, I don't want this person in court. They threaten me, they make me feel uncomfortable. Every defendant has a right to do that. However, what the issue was, they did it last minute. Usually when you make this request, you make it days in advance. Not as soon as your pregnant star witness is set to actually take the stand. They did it, in my opinion, to disconcert Cassie. They did it to make her feel that she was unsupported. And they did it because Sean Diddy Combs is known for, in my opinion, DICK moves. And that's what they do. To me, it seems like he still wants to have control. He still wants Cassie to know, yeah, I run this. You don't do anything and I will control everything. It's funny how Cassie did a lot of testimony about how Diddy instructed her to do everything. She couldn't even touch this sex worker without his permission. And he told her the way to touch it. And then all of a sudden in the courtroom, and she also said that he told her, oh, you're going to have to move away from each other, separate. And it's funny how in the courtroom at the last second, he was like, yeah, you and your support system, your husband, you guys need to separate. Now, listen, prosecutors were arguing. The reason Diddy said that, he was like, listen, something happened in 2018. Alex literally texted me, cursing me out about something that happened in 2018 and literally said he was going to murk me. And I said, okay, fair enough. I heard Cassie's testimony. If you guys don't know, I did an amazing live, if I do say so myself, about what Cassie's testimony was. I didn't think it was the prosecution's strongest day as far as invoking pure emotion from the jury. But as far as legal and laying the base, they said prosecution did an amazing job. But again, I'm talking from the everyman standpoint because I'm thinking about the way it goes in the jury. I feel like sometimes lawyers and legal analysis talk to each other so much that they see a game that we don't. They're more into the technical skill, but I'm more into what's landing with the jury because that's what actually counts. You can run the best trial. If the jury isn't feeling you, they're just not feeling you. And we all know there are guilty people walking free and there are innocent people in jail. So it is up to the prosecution or the defense attorney to direct the jury into seeing what the true fact is. That's why you hire them. Anyway, let's get back into that 2018 move. Diddy was like, yo, y'all separate, right? And after he made all that mess when Cassie was about moments forward, I do feel like Judge Aaron should have said, like, no, you should have made this 12 hours in advance, 24 hours in advance. Now, it is Diddy's right, but it was tactical maneuvering. They're saying that is the reason why the prosecutors were kind of thrown off in their questioning because they could not talk about a 2018 event. And anything when it led up to Cassie talking about her feelings, the way Diddy mentally abused her, physically abused her, put her in humiliating, degrading sexual acts, it all led up to that 2018 incident. Keep in mind, Cassie did testify that they broke up around 2018. So what happened in 2018 that made Alex lose his mind, tell Diddy he was basically going to murk him, and have Diddy being like, well, I don't want you here because I have the text messages from 2018. Well, apparently in 2018, Cassie said is going to testify today that Diddy raped her. Cassie is going to testify that Diddy raped her. Yeah, exactly. In 2018, something happened with Diddy and Cassie. It was violent. It was disgusting. It completely pushed down Cassie's boundaries and made her think that she is never, ever, ever, ever going to come back and entertain him in any way, shape, or form. Now, you have to ask yourself, are these rumors about Cassie's going to testify about Diddy's violent rape of her? Will it come to fruition? We will see. This is my insider tea information. We will see if it comes to pass. But to me, it tracked because something happened in 2018. Something happened that made Cassie say, I'm never coming back. And it pushed back all of Cassie's boundaries. And you got to think, Cassie had been sex trafficked. She had to do free calls. She had to do all this stuff. So what could have pushed by her boundaries so much that she was like, yeah, right? What could have pushed past her boundaries so much that she was like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore? You really, really have to wonder. Anyway, we're walking into trial. Let me see if I can just keep this on the low, right? So you really have to wonder, we're walking in right now, you really have to wonder what could have happened that made Cassie feel this way? What could have pushed past the boundaries? And this is why they couldn't talk about a 2018 incident. This is why they had to keep ignoring the 2018 incident. This is why they're saying that the prosecution questions were so weird yesterday and didn't really lead anywhere, because where they planned on leading, they agreed that they could not talk about this 2018 incident, why Alex Fine was in the thing. This is the 2018 incident that Alex threatened Cassie over. This is the 2018 incident that the courts think is going to be a checkmate. And this is a 2018 incident that, baby, yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. Hold on. We're going in right now. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, it is a lot. So, and okay. Hold on. We got to put plastics for the umbrella. All right. Oh, I was going to say, somebody dropped their phone. Oh, go ahead. So, yeah. Anyway, we're about to go in. We're walking into the line. I'm going to have to hang up soon. Yeah, you guys, it's a lot. Plastics in the umbrella. Anyway, you guys, listen, I have to get out of here. We're in the federal courthouse. We are not allowed to have phones. I don't want to get kicked out. I will see y'all later. Okay, bye. I gotta go. Trial just ended, and look who get a load who I listen. Shine Divine TV is out here covering the trial too. Y'all, if you don't follow, why don't you tell them your socials?
I'm Shine Divine at Shine Divine TV. SS and Code is the brand. Out here with Tisa covering the P. Diddy Trial. I'm sure y'all tapped into everything that she's doing. She's taking over the algorithm, one of the hardest working women on YouTube, and we're out here covering it.
That's right. You guys, listen. Everybody going crazy. Listen, make sure y'all follow Shine Divine. He is doing the thing. Y'all already know my loud mouth perspective, but if you want this from a very intelligent, conscious man to actually know how it's going on, make sure y'all check out his social. Shine, thank you so much. All right, y'all. So with no further ado, let's get into what we found out in the trial. Y'all are not going to believe this. Cassie testified in court that D-Rock was one of Diddy's security people. Now, here's the thing. They showed a picture of D-Rock on the screen, okay? Now, don't know I was in the trial. This is all coverage, but I believe that there was a bombshell that was just dropped off about that. What is the actual bombshell? Y'all, D-Rock was Biggie's best friend. As a matter of fact, people that are conspiracy theorists say that Biggie would have never gone out if D-Rock hadn't pushed the issue. There's a little beef behind that. However, if this is the same D-Rock and the picture looks like the same D-Rock based upon information and belief, it actually looks like that Cassie testified that Diddy and D-Rock literally scooted up and rolled out on Suge Knight, and they looked like they was going to try to murk that man. They said they were dressed in all black. They said that they had the little collars on. They said they probably had some dark Air Force One energy on there too, right? Liberia Rose, hey, what's up, Liberia? How are you doing? But in any case, this is what Cassie testified. I have my notes. I'm going to pull them out. You know we are right at 500 Pearl Street. Doing the thing. Here's the fit. Yes, y'all can't see it, but I'm on my legal eagle. whatnot, trying to keep it professional. But y'all, who is D-Rock, you guys might add, all right? Let's get into this. D-Rock, whose real name is Damian Butler, that is Diddy's security, was a close friend and confidant of the notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace. Their friendship began in their childhood home in Brooklyn and evolved over time. D-Rock is known for taking a bang charge on Biggie's behalf, which led him to serving time in prison. After his release, D-Rock became Biggie's personal assistant and managed his career until his passing. Again, there's a little controversy. We're not saying that hey, Tracy Andrews, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. We're not saying that D-Rock did anything, but I do know that if you go on Twitter, oh my God, wait. I almost forgot to lead with the biggest thing. I'm going to do a story about this later. Do you know that Cassie testified that during the freak-offs, Diddy, you can't tell me this ain't childhood trauma. I'm looking at Janice Combs like, what happened in that house? Listen to what Diddy was into. He would demand that the escort either eject on Cassie's stomach or inside her tunnel of love. And then Diddy would demand that Cassie go into the room next door. And when Cassie went into the room next door, he would make Cassie rub that juice, right? He would make Cassie rub that juice on his nipples and his chest. Diddy like Cassie to take the male sex workers pudding. I'm trying not to get demonetized, but it's probably a long while. Take the pudding and rub it on his chest and his tatas. Melvina Cook, thank you so much for the super chat. And Hibiscus Rose, thank you so much for the super chat. On top of that, the judge made a ruling. I'm going to get back to the D-Rock story about the Biggie stuff, but I just got out of court, so much news to tell y'all. On top of that, the judge made a ruling about the press. The judge made a ruling about the press. If you guys don't know, the press had their own lawyers coming in and said, listen, this is a public interest. We need to know everything. Thank you, Ebony, for the super chat. And we need to find out everything. You guys, thank you so much for super chatting. Listen, this is my love letter to you guys. I used my own money and my own time to fly out and cover this trial. Again, I might not have celebrations at 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 subbies, but baby, I do be writing y'all love letters. Because when you ask for something, I'll go out of my way to do it. Anyway, the judge made a ruling. I'm telling y'all the breaking news before we get back into the Biggie, Tupac stuff that Cassie testified on, all right? So D-Rock, so the judge literally ruled on it. Because apparently May, who is victim number 2, Cassie, who's victim number 1, and the prosecutors are like, no, I don't care who needs to see it. CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, I don't care who needs to see it. Because those materials were meant for blackmail materials. They were meant to hurt. They were meant to humiliate. Sharina Wilson, thank you so much. You said amazing coverage, Tisa. Keep up the good work. Be sure to get rest. I am going to get some rest later on. Y'all know when I'm on the grind, I'm on the grind. Anyway, right? Also, Egyptian deity, thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all blessing me and showing me love. Buying me dinner tonight. Thank y'all. Okay, so and Miss E.T., thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to read the questions in a second. Damn, my opinion. Thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all blessing me. I'm going to read some questions from the chat in a second, but let me just get through this, right? I mean, keep sending super chats, but let me get through this. So the judge was like, listen, I thought about it, and usually there is a First Amendment right. However, there's a lot of case law that when it is, hey, my God, Celtic Moon, thank you so much for the super chat. Leloon 012. Oh my God. Basilwood and Park. Thank you so much. Miss Texas Cannon. Thank you so much for the for the Cash App. Leloony 012. Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you. She says thank you for the amazing work. And my Michelle. What's going on with Shannon Sharp? I know he's so happy that Diddy Trial started. My Michelle. Thank you so much for the super chat. Listen, okay, thank you, Dream86M. You said, girl, grow up. Just say man milk. Keep it up. Okay, thank you. I was looking for something. Andrea Morones, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so where are we at now? The judge actually ruled on whether anybody can show the tapes. Okay, there were freak all tapes. The press was like, we need to see it because it's the First Amendment right. This was not the strongest day for the prosecution. Sarah Jefferson, thank you so much for the super chat. And this is your first super chat you've sent on a live stream. Let's celebrate that. So the judge was like, Cassie, victim number one and victim number two, May, were like, that's her alias, was like, no, like this was meant to blackmail us and humiliate us. And if you literally, these are blackmail materials, and if we literally let you use it, then what was the point of going to trial? Because our worst nightmare actually happened. The judge saw about it and said, listen, there's a lot of case law when it comes to the First Amendment stuff. I was inclined to do it, but being as both these were blackmail materials, we're not using it. So the judge ruled that the freak all tapes will not be shown in the gallery, so we won't be able to see it. And he doesn't even think he's even letting news organizations see it, because he's literally like, these aren't just regular public service tapes. These are tapes meant to humiliate, meant to blackmail, meant to do everything wrong. Okay, let me get here so I look more dun 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 dun, dun. Special victims unit. Oh, Clover in 84 Nichol said, keep up the good work. Thank you, Clover. Rara said, stay out there, stay safe out there. You know I am. Great job like always. Also, oh, thank you so much. You said thank you, Tisa, for the terrific reporting. Where's your thumbnail? For the terrific reporting, you're so beautiful. Girl, you better stop, but thank you. Tracy said, how's the jury reacting to Cassie? I'll tell you in a second. Kenneth Barnes said, Tisa, you're doing one hell of a job. Thank you so much. Also, Purple Bayou said, congratulations on the boots on the ground. That's right, boots on the ground. Okay, so how's the jury reacting to Cassie? See you guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Vanessa Jones said, I'm proud of you, Tisa. Fantastic job. And Dorit Angel said, in the criminal law, just Tisa has a T. LOL, law and order thing. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on, should I walk y'all in here? Keep on doing your thing, stay safe. Let's do a walk-in. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Na 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 na. In the court of law. Hold on. Dun 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 dun. Let me get the action shot. Dun 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 dun. Okay, let me stop playing and get to work. Anyway, sorry, I couldn't resist. So anyway, right? So the judge said no. Nobody's going to be able to see that video. The only people that will see the video is going to be the jurors. Now, the funny thing is, I thought about it, right? I feel like Mark Agnafilio, Your Honor, tried to finesse. Because Mark Agnafilio, they've been pushing for this tape to be seen. Because their whole thing is, Cassie enjoyed herself. What's the problem, right? And then Mark Agnafilio stood up in court and was like, I mean, what are they going to do with it? As if y'all haven't been pushing this the whole time. Because he almost got me with the finesse. But when I was sitting in court, I was like, wait a second. Y'all been the ones pushing that people had to see the freak off tapes because Cassie enjoyed herself. Now when it's time to see the freak off tapes, y'all in court talking about, what's the New York Post going to do with it, Your Honor? I don't know. Nice try, Mark Agnafilio, baby. You can finesse everybody except for me and your barber. Because Mark's hair looks a mess. He looks like Chicken Little. I don't know what he is doing. He needs to literally, I don't know if he's using Garnier for Treese or Suave or maybe Paul Mitchell. Whatever you are using, you need to go back to the last round of products. Anyway, Sugar Spice 313, thank you so much for the super chat. Fly Girl 5172, Tisa, you're amazing, beautiful inside and out. Oh, thank you guys. Kim Williams said, keep doing your thing, Tisa, and stay safe. I will. Thank you, Miss Williams. Trisha 8 said, what time is the long live? Also, Mark mad about his voiceover. Forever Music 24. Thank you so much, Trisha. Forever 24 Music. Oh, look. There go the boys in blue. Woo, woo. That's the sound of the police. Woo, woo. Anyway, Forever Music. This is the courthouse. The other side, they're walking out, but I don't feel like going through that right now. I wanted to give y'all the tea. Forever Music 24, thank you so much for the super chat. And Tanya Lewis said, thank you, Tisa, for bringing the trial to us. You're welcome. And also, thank you, V, for deleting that message. Hey, how are you? Huh? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. What's your name? Ben? Oh, nice to meet you. Are you going to be here tomorrow?
I actually will not be here tomorrow, but I'm here like every other day.
Okay, I'm gonna be here every day, so I will see you soon, man. See ya. Okay, so sorry, y'all. Now I get distracted. Little social butterfly twiddling around. Anyway, right? Okay, so the judge said no for the freak off tapes. What else shocking happened? We are about to talk about that Biggie stuff, right? Pamela Fine, thank you so much for joining Tisa Tells family. Okay, but again, the craziest thing we heard was, and I don't know why the prosecutors kept zooming over us. Again, I mean, I'm saying I don't think this was a strong day for the prosecution, not because Cassie didn't have the goods, but because Cassie, the prosecutor kept skipping over the good stuff. Again, Cassie told us that Diddy demanded that the escorts put their man milk either on her stomach or inside of her. And then he would call her into the room. And before he got to slapping her around, Cassie had to take the man milk and rub it all over his chest and especially his nipples. Janice Cohn, we need to talk to you about, because I don't care what you say, that has trauma in the childhood written all over it. I don't even want to go down, but it has trauma in the childhood written all over it. Kiss for Smooch, thank you so much. You said double tap the screen. What happens if I double tap the screen? Also, Chantel Renee said, hey, beautiful, we love you. Do you think he'll be getting off for doing time? I think he's going to, listen, it was one small bad day. I still think he's going to go, because even though it was boring, they established that he was in complete control of everything. Tonya Stroman said, thanks forever with the great tea. Thank you so much, Tonya. Yeah, I said, Tisa's the hottest reporter there. Y'all gonna stop hyping me up. The real Empress said, I'm happy for you. Now, where's your security? Don't worry, Mama, I'm safe. Please. I'm safe. Anyway, y'all, we ain't worrying about that. Ain't got no problems. I feel like please, we Hakuna Matata over here. Thank you, Tisa, for your work. Thank you, Matrix Golf. Okay, yeah, Cassie admitted that Diddy liked that. Somebody called Janice Combs to the witness stand. When that happened, I put my pen down and said, Your Honor, I was like, Your Honor, I would like to call Janice Combs and her Marilyn Monroe Lola Falana wig. I want her to cut. Janice Combs looks really good. I will say, she raised a demon, but she is a very good looking woman. And y'all be dragging her wigs. I think she looks good. Beverly Ann, how y'all doing? I really do. But anyway, but aside from that, right, Janice Combs, if you don't get your butt to the witness stand, what is going on with your son? Listen, this one guy had nothing to do about his preference at all. It doesn't. Because I don't care if he's gay. Like, who cares? Like, that to me is, maybe it's 2025. Get something real to worry about. The world is crumbling. I don't care about that. But for some reason, the way she described it, it's like, this is like not trauma, but there's something associated with this. This isn't just something you woke up and said, yeah, put it on my chest. And why would you want another man's that was rubbed on you afterwards? Yo, Diddy was into some wild stuff. And the whole time, Cassie was like, it was humiliating. I hated it. I hated his touch. I hate the way you walk, the way you talk away. Like, literally, it was a mess, okay? So then, the Biggie stuff, right? So let's get back into it, right? Cassie identified D-Rock as Diddy's security. All right. I believe that. Thank you, Beverly Ann, for the super chat. I believe this is the same D-Rock. All right. Did I say thank you, Pamela Fine, for becoming a member? If I didn't, thank you very much, Miss Fine. I appreciate you. So they were talking about, also Chantel Renee said, I'm only following you in this story. He needs time. I think he is going to get time. But y'all know how it is. Thank y'all so much. Faronia Corp said, love your coverage of the Diddy debacle. The fact that you flew out is a testament to your greatness. It's not a testament to my greatness. It's a testament to how much I love y'all. Y'all be dragging me. You was calling me fatty. Y'all said I was pregnant when I literally was eating donuts, reading the pregnancy comment like, y'all ruining my little ice cream night. Y'all was ruining my ice cream nights. But it's a testament to how much I love you guys that I flew out. Jalen said, great work, Tisa. Okay, so anyway, Shauna Michelle said, Janice is a demon. Diddy is a spawn. Well, that demon looks great for her age. Anyway, right? So D-Rock did time for Biggie, and he was Biggie's personal assistant and managed his career until death. Also, there's a little controversy in the hip-hop scene that people feel like D-Rock might have helped set Biggie up because Biggie ain't want to go out that night, and D-Rock made him go. I think because he was his manager or something. Winona Black TV said, thank you, Tisa, hardest woman in these YouTube strips. We love you. Thank y'all so much. They said, D-Rock's role in Biggie's life extended beyond personal support. He also managed Little Kim and Junior Mafia's careers, showcasing his loyalty and ability to navigate the music industry. Additionally, D-Rock is credited with capturing extensive behind-the-scenes footage of Biggie, offering an intimate look at his life and personality. There's a video on YouTube that delves into the details of their friendship and how it was more than just a typical collaboration. Anyway, there's also a little bit more moves. For years, Damien D-Rock Butler has hinted at the hours of home video footage he recorded of his best friend Biggie. Butler famously took a gun charge for Biggie and served time in prison in the early 90s. Okay, now get this. He is head of Diddy's security, and something tells me that he might be one of Diddy's co-conspirators. Also, what's up, Joanne Rodriguez? Thank you for the super chat. Renee said, love you back, Tisa. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you. Heart. Tanya Lewis said, did Cassie seem nervous and didn't she make contact? Did she make contact with Diddy? We're gonna talk about that in a second, okay? Anyway, Cassie said that they were asking her about like what safe Diddy has. He was like, yo, Diddy has a safe in Alpine, New Jersey. Let me sit on these steps real quick. They said Diddy has the house and had guns with safes, and Cassie has the passcodes in Alpine, New Jersey, right? In Alpine, New Jersey, in his old house, in Miami, in LA, and in New York City. And they're like, how do you know? And she's like, because I got the pass keys. I got the passcodes, right? KDB said he went to all boys boarding school with white boys. Who knows what happened to him? Come on, we ain't going to drag the white boys into this. I don't think that's something they be doing. I think that's something the white boys Diddy was hanging out with, right? We can't blame the soul. Nah, I don't think that's in the I'm a white person handbook. That you like getting man milk smeared on your chest and nipples after a escort. Like, I don't think that's in the white boy handbook. I'm just saying. Anyway, right? Also, Shannon said, TC look gorgeous. Oh, thanks guys. I appreciate this. Y'all swore I was AI. I'm real life. Anyway, right? So anyway, getting back into this, because this is actually really interesting. So D-Rock was also head of Cassie's security. Diddy's security, and I believe D-Rock might be one of Diddy's co-conspirators, because they said he sent D-Rock to go look for her when Cassie tried to escape. He sent D-Rock to go get her back and hunt her down and bring her back. On top of that, D-Rock was involved in Cherokee Black Panther said, love for South Carolina. Great job. Thank you. So, thank you so much, Cherokee. So anyway, they said that like D-Rock was actually bringing back, co-conspirator, doing this thing. Okay. Okay. So I have to go to the plaza, but hold on. Don't hang up. I'm right here. Hold on, y'all. Finally got kicked out. It be your own people. It be your own people. How many security guards walk by me? FTF, DHS, Homeland Security, whatever you want to call it. The own people came and asked me to move. It's okay. I got respect for my elders. Okay, so we're sad, all right? So anyway, so what happened? So D-Rock. So D-Rock sounds like he's one of Diddy's. This sounds like one of Diddy's co-conspirators. So anyway, again, the Biggie stuff. Remember how Suge Knight is always Joanne Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, did I miss one? Okay, I'm good. I'm popped up. Okay, so anyway, right? Oh yeah, also hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. Y'all know I need it, right? So anyway, so Cassie said that one night she knows there was guns in the safe because one night they were in the middle of a freak off, right? He left a freak off. He got a call when somebody told him in California, yo, Suge Knight is like down the hill at like the Waffle House or something, somewhere close. Diddy, and you know he don't like to miss a freak off. Diddy literally left a freak off to go and get Suge Knight. Now here's the thing. He saw him and D-Rock grab all the hammers in there. They said they were all handguns. Grab all of them, dressed in all black, put the scullies on, put the little baklavas, you know, the Dark Knight 3000, dressed in all black, put their hoods on their face and rolled out in a black SUV and literally went to go handle whatever was going on with Suge Knight. Yeah, Diddy, and listen, maybe he didn't go to murk Suge Knight, maybe he just went to talk. But what are you doing talking to Suge Knight like that? And you know Suge Knight been said that Diddy been trying to be on top of his head. Somebody said, Tisa, I have a suggestion. Call it duck butter. Even better, Kenneth, duck butter. There we go. Tracy Reed, thank you so much for joining the Entitled Tales family. And you said, okay, I still don't see your handle. You said, oh, let me see what your handle is. Hold on. Let me see. I still don't see your handle. Okay, you said, okay, and I added my handle now. Keep up the good work. I still don't see your handle. I'm so sorry, Mama. Okay, Patricia, thank you so much for the super chat. To Weenie3 said, you're covering this case. It's elite work. Diabolical. Love it. Okay, but anyway, she said, now here's the thing. I think that they want to go murk Suge Knight, because, what? You rolling out with guns, dressed in all black in a black SUV, and you left a freak off. Oh, you know that man meant business. Because one thing we did learn from this testimony is Diddy don't like leaving freak offs for nobody and nobody's business, right? Yeah. So anyway, Cassie was testifying. How was Cassie in court? I'm gonna go live later and give y'all all the breakdown because I have like 18 pages of notes. Cassie was testifying. Was she nervous? She didn't seem nervous. She always seems collected, but that couldn't have been a good situation. Also, Alex and her brother were in court showing her support. If you guys don't know, I reported earlier that Diddy tried to get Alex banned from court. I think it was just a power move, and he just didn't want anybody to support her. But I feel like Cassie, oh, ma'am, thank you so much for the super chat. You said, Tisa, thank you for doing all you do. You're appreciated. Thank you so much. But I do honestly feel like, also, you guys, there's like 9,000 people in the chat. Can you give me a like? Listen, Mama spent all her savings to come bring y'all the tea, so I'm broke and begging. Don't want to call me broke and begging. Yes, congratulations. Y'all got me where you wanted. B Crumbs, thank you so much for gifting a membership. And also, DJ See No Evil said, hello, I thank you for what you do. I'm completely blind, so I appreciate the info. Oh my God, DJ See No Evil, anytime. Listen. So, listen, Linda. So anyway, Cassie didn't seem nervous, but she had to be. And even though Alex and her brother were there supporting her, I don't know, maybe she felt a little bit uncomfortable talking about that in front of her brother and her man. Because you know how, like, I'm sure they've had conversations about it. I'm sure they've cried about it, but there was just something that was a little bit where she kept like, she was using very like proper terms for everything. She was doing this and doing that. That said, I don't know. I don't think this was a very strong day for the prosecution. I think the prosecution basically bored the jury to death, and I think the prosecution might have lost the jury. Not in the fact that like Diddy's right, in the fact that it's like, okay, this is boring and I'm falling asleep. At the end of the day, with these type of claims, you have to shock the consciousness and show everybody why it's so shocking, why it's not just a domestic violence, why this is a sex trafficking trial, you know? Let me make sure I got my other phone. Hold on. I do. Okay. Millimax, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Robin Lynn Griffin, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Carolyn Chaffin says, Tisa, you're doing a wonderful job. Mafia Man said, not only are you smart, you're stunning. Oh, y'all capping me up. Ness said, y'all like, we called her fat for 6 months and pregnant, but now we need to boost my little self-esteem up. Nessa, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Also, Ella Rogers, thank you so much for the super chat. B! Oh, you guys, that's what they try to say. Let me like my own live. They said double tap to like this live. Hit the screen and double tap the live, okay? Oh, also, Anon, thank you so much. You said keep up the great reporting. Oh, also, VKJTV said, TT, you're the best at this. Much love. Tomar1226 said, thanks for keeping me entertained, Tisa, getting me through my workday. I'm happy to do it. Oh, also, let me put my notes out since we got a minute. Since I got a minute, let me put my notes out for you. So, also, Cassie said that Diddy literally, him and another man pretty much drowned her in urine. She also said that he demanded there be a bathtub full. He got a blow up swimming pool that like. Disney makes everything perverse. You know those blow-up pools that like you put in the front yard, and when the kids, whenever there's a block party, you blow the pool up and put the water in. Diddy brought those type of pools, inflatable pools, to his hotel room. I think it was the Intercontinental, and had them fill it with baby oil. And Cassie and the escort had to literally do like wrestling matches in there. And Cassie said she was so worried because it was so dangerous, which is true. That baby oil had gotten in her nose or whatever. She also said Diddy things started the same way. First, you had to have Diddy liked to direct it. There had to be a conversation. Diddy liked for Cassie to describe what she was looking at. So Cassie and the escort had to sit across from each other and be like, yo, and she has to be like, oh my God, look at it, like describe it. He liked the dirty talk, but he wanted to watch them do dirty talk. Then she said that they had to, touch myself. They had to do that on themselves while they talked and described it to Diddy. Then it had to go into like rubbing baby oil. Then it had to go into sloppy toppy. It always had to go this way. And Diddy would get mad and punish her if it didn't. Then it had to go into glowing stuff. And she said this could last hours. Then the duck butter, the man milk, he would make go on the chest or inside. And then she had to take it off of her or out of her and rub it on his chest and his tatas, yeah, I know. Ex-wife. Oh my God, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And you guys, that's what Kiss from Smooch and Bieber trying to tell me. Double tap the screen to like this live. Also, Honeybee Therapy, thank you so much for the super chat. And Potato Gun Camper, woo, said relax, Tisa, you look amazing. Ice cream thing, oh, thank you. Alberta Daniels, thank you so much for joining the Tattletales. Mafia Man said Diddy's next calling is party planning. He got those ideas. He do got those ideas. Granted, they from the 10th level of hell. But if he used his powers for good, he'd probably be the best party planner in the world. Harlem, New York, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, I want to give a shout out to Money W. Thank you for being a member for 12 months. You said, hey, Tisa, hey, what's up, girl? And also, Jen Owen said, thanks for doing the big one, doll. You're welcome. Alberta, oh my God, Alberto Daniels, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go on that side. You upgraded your membership to I'ma upgrade Tisa today. Time to let me upgrade you. I hear you be the lights, but I'm the like the scenes with me. I'm gonna sneak through that way. I'm gonna go that way. So they shutting this place down. They got security. So anyway, yeah, Cassie said it was baby oil. She said that like Diddy was a mess, a fiend. He was always literally trying to hurt her. She couldn't disappoint him. She said that she felt disgusting and humiliated, and that was the whole point of what. Have a good one. He felt like disgusted and humiliated, and that was the whole point of what was going on between her and Diddy. That's another thing she said. Remember that fight video? Diddy is so diabolical. He did that to sabotage her premiere, but it's deeper than you think. So Cassie told Diddy, he was like, yo, I want to freak off. And Cassie emails him, Cassie emailed him like, oh, babe, I want to freak off so bad, but I don't want to mess up. I don't want to party and mess up my body. Now, Cassie said she did that because she was just trying to keep like Diddy sedated. I believe that. She was just talking trash. But the important thing is, she said that because she had her movie premiere planned, and she was like, no, she said she knew what freak offs would do to her body and her mind, and she's like, I can't have one right now. I'm trying to be fresh for my premiere. Diddy demanded a freak off. She went and had the freak off, but she said that, Alberta Daniels, thank you for upgrading me. But she said she wouldn't have the freak off, and the freak off was going fine because she was trying to like, appease him. And then out of the blue, for no reason, he literally punched her dead in her eye. She said she didn't know why he did it or what he did it. He punched her. Oh my God, listen, GTWMS, thank you so much for the Cash App and the prayers and blessings. I appreciate that. So Diddy punched her dead in the eye unprovoked for no reason. I think it's because he was jealous of her growing and tried to sabotage her success, right? And she said when that happened, she was like, you know what? I'm out of here. And that's when she grabbed her book bag and her shoes and her phone, and she ran out of there while Diddy was either in the shower or on the phone. And that's what was going on when she ran out of Intercontinental. Remember all those idiot incel trolls and misogyny identified women that were like, oh my God, Cassie stole 100,000 from Diddy. Cassie did this to Diddy. That's why he ran after her. That was all cap and a lie, just like we know it was. It was proven today in court. It was proven today in court that Diddy lied about all that. And it was also proven today in court that he literally punched her in the eye and gave her a black eye a few days before her premiere, unprovoked. And that's when she ran out. She's like, I'm out of here, this and that. And this is after she says, I don't want to do a freak off because I think something's going to happen to my body or face. They showed the text messages. On top of that, they also were like, yeah, why were you laying on the ground? And she's like, it seemed like the safest thing to stay laying on the ground. And then they were like, okay, but like, what, like, you know, what happened? And she was like, I just laid on the ground and covered my face because I don't want him to do any more damage to my face. Also, Tracy Carr, thank you so much for the super chat. And the ethical audit said, did you get any footage of Cassie? No. So Cassie has armed security. They escort her in. She's in a different floor, and there's no cameras in the courtroom. And they escort you, so they take her to the little secret entrance, so you can't even see her leaving either. So, which is good, because, you know, this is a criminal organization. Ariam, thank you so much. Ariam said, thank you for your commitment. You're welcome. Oh, also, really quick, I'm going to re-upload an oldie but goodie video. Remember that mess I told y'all about Elisa? You said, thank you, Tisa. You're welcome. Thank you, Elisa. So remember that video I uploaded about I found Diddy's freak off agency? And when I did it, y'all know I love saying I told you so. When I did it, all my favorite haters on YouTube was like, Tisa lying, she just be making up stuff. I did my investigation. Shut up. Your investigation is why your follower count looked the way it does, right? And anyway, let me stop, because every time I shade somebody in a live, I'm talking to one specific person, and 50 people will come forward and say that I got beef with them. So I take that back, because I guarantee you who the person I'm talking to don't watch my channel, right? But anyway, Cassie confirmed on the Sam. Summer Sam, thank you so much for the super chat. And let's celebrate your first super on my live stream. Cassie confirmed, yesterday the prosecution confirmed, and today Cassie confirmed on the stand that the freak-off agency that she used was Cowboys and Angels, because you can use it in every single major city. You guys, 2 years ago, I did a video about Cowboys and Angels titled, I found Cassie and Diddy's freak-off agency. You know what I'm saying? Mel NYC Reviews, thank you, said Tisa is working harder than Ally McBeal. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to re-upload that video because it has the pictures of the freak-off people they use, their preferred this. It has the contact info. It's actually a really, really funny video. I'm going to re-upload that. But you guys, when I say we have been vindicated, and when I say our research was on point 100% of the time, baby, we did it. We did the big thing. Woo. Anyway, you guys, listen, I want to thank, hey, what's up, KKK Scorpio? Said, thank you for your dedication. You understood the assignment. Thank you, guys. And Future IT Doctor said, keep up the fantastic work. And also Renee Frazier, thank you and welcome to the Tattletales family. And thank you again, if I didn't say it, Future IT Doctor, or Future IT Doctor. Thank you. Listen, we need more black faces in the medical field, so shout out to you. Anyway, you guys, listen. The police were nice enough to let me finish this live, but you know, it is time for me to go. I will be live later, but in the meantime, I'm going to upload the video where I exposed 2 years ago. Also, Andrea Purcell, thank you so much for the super chat. And Renee Frazier said, thank you for your amazing determination. Thank you, Renee. And also, Lachelle Flood, thank you so much. Anyway, I just do want to say this, and it's very important to say, I was right. And Cassie confirmed it on the stand. The U.S. prosecution confirmed it on the stand, and I'm going to leave y'all with the video. I'm going to re-upload it, and I'll do a little intro, and I'll re-upload it so y'all can have fun with that. And I will see y'all later on live, all right? Thank y'all so much for the love, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.
Federal court here in Lower Manhattan, Southern District of New York, and I was in court today for the trial of Sean Diddy Combs, and very dramatic day in court, raising a lot of questions. Very powerful testimony by his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. She took the stand. She's about at least 8 months pregnant, got up there on the stand and started to detail very calmly, very methodically, without any malice in her voice and without any kind of snide undertones that some people might have expected to hear from her. She detailed the beginning of her relationship with Sean Combs, which was when she was 19. She first met him. She was looking forward to having a recording career with him. She actually signed a 10-album deal with Bad Boy Records, his label, and she thought she was on her way to stardom at that point. Instead, what evolved was a personal relationship where he came on to her. She got involved with him personally, and then soon after they were intimate, she says these freak-offs began. And we've heard a lot of talk in the media about what these freak-offs are, but I want to explain it to you, and it might be a little disturbing and triggering for some people, so I'm just giving you that in advance, but I'll try to be as delicate about it but as accurate as possible. So basically what would happen with these freak-offs, the first one happened in New York City, and basically there would be a man who would be hired. In this first case, it was a male stripper who also worked as an escort. The male stripper would have, or escort, would have sex with Cassie while Combs was in the room in the corner. Now, the first time that they did it, she said that Combs was wearing a white bathrobe, he had a baseball hat on, he had a red bandana covering the lower part of his face, and that he was sitting there in the corner because he didn't want the escort apparently to see who he was. Cassie was dressed in red lingerie. She had red platform pumps, like stripper type of shoes. She was wearing a red wig and sunglasses because she didn't want the escort to, to walk away or to identify her until they knew that this person would keep their secrets with them. So they proceeded to have sex. She proceeded to have sex with him. Combs, all the while, sitting back and giving directions as to what should happen. So he first instructed them to massage each other with baby oil. She later testified today, this afternoon, that there were about 10 large bottles of baby oil that were used in every one of these freak-offs, which would last anywhere from 1 to 4 days. And usually the participants would be Cassie, a male sex worker, having sex with her, somebody that she was told to hire. She would do the actual bookings from these escort platforms and escort apps and escort websites, and she would be the one that would actually hire the escort to come in there. And then depending upon whether or not he liked the performance, Combs would pay the escort anywhere from $150, but if it went on for multiple days, the escort would be paid up to about $6,000 or $7,000 in cash. So she said that these started off, and why would she do something like that? She said she was young and naive. That's a question a lot of people were asking. The prosecutor asked her that directly. Why would you do this? And she said, because I was young and naive and I wanted to make him happy, and I knew that this made him happy. But she said over time, and now we're talking about years, they were doing these freak-offs in a lot of different places. New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Las Vegas, and there got to be a handful of these male sex workers that were the ones who were their favorites and who they trusted. So she said that it became more and more degrading. There were degrading things done to her. She said that the baby oil, Combs insisted that their bodies always be glistening, and to keep this glisten going, they had to heat up the baby oil. They would run it under hot water so that the baby oil would be warm when they put it on their bodies. She said freak-off supplies included lots of candles, the baby oil, of course, and then special outfits for her, these very sexy lingerie outfits, stripper-type outfits, which she would purchase at Pleasure Chest in Los Angeles or the Hustler store there. And then she described how the relationship devolved, and that her music career was not going anywhere, to endure the humiliation, which was her word, of these freak-offs, which you can imagine, and the dehumanization of them. She had to take drugs, she said, in order to just get through it and to be able to get through it, because if she didn't get through it, she feared what would happen. What would happen was a beating from Combs, according to her, and she outlined some of the injuries that she sustained when he was displeased with her, busted eyes, black eyes, swollen lip, a broken lip, cuts on her lip, and a lot of hits to her head. And he seemed fond of one thing that we saw in that horrific video from the Intercontinental Hotel in L.A. with the beating was dragging her by her hair into different places. And so a lot of times he would watch, he would direct every move, he would tell the escort what he wanted him to do to Cassie, he would tell Cassie what to do, he would tell them, oh, you need more baby oil, and then they would have to do that. So there was a lot of direction constantly from Combs, which of course is very key to the case that the prosecutors are trying to bring, because according to the legal experts that I've talked to, are very familiar with federal law and actually have tried cases in these courtrooms here at federal court. They say they have to prove for the trafficking, for the RICO part of it, they have to prove that there was coercion, that she was forced into doing this. Because one of the big questions that a lot of people had when we first started to learn details about this case was, if she was coerced, if she was forced, why did she stay with him for so long? And she said she was, she was actually in love with him, that when he was nice, he was charming. And of course, he was also, at the time that she was with him, he was at the height of his career. Basically, I mean, he had the Sean John clothing line going, Revolt TV was starting, he was hosting the MTV Video Music Awards. There were a lot of big things. He was getting Grammy nominations. There was a lot going on for him career-wise. He was being hugely successful, even a Broadway appearance. And then, of course, running the New York City Marathon to raise money for education in under-resourced communities. So she was meeting, she was involved with him at this very, very prominent time in his life where a lot was going on and a lot of attention was on him, and it seemed as if he could do no wrong. Of course, now we found out that was an image, and now we're finding out more about what the reality is for her. Now, while she was on the stand, as I said, she's estimated to be like 8 or 8.5 months pregnant. She was rubbing her stomach, rubbing her belly the way pregnant women do, or they just touch their stomach when you just touch your stomach when you're pregnant, and just kind of like to feel that heartbeat or feel that movement of that baby that you're carrying. And so she was doing that. A couple of times during the testimony, she reached for tissues because she was getting emotional. Tears were coming to her eye. At one point, she really did get choked up and had to stop for a moment or two, but the prosecutor kept on relentlessly. And then also she was asked to describe her daily life. Her daily life was basically being all centered around Combs and around making him happy and doing whatever he wanted her to do so that he would not hit her, would not beat her up, or would not punish her. This was the term that she used, this word punishing. And that when he was upset with her, Combs or his bodyguards would take her phones away, take her phone away, take her laptop away, so that she couldn't communicate or do anything. And that he insisted that she be the one to actually book these male escorts. So on all of the transactions, it's her credit card, it's her, her name. She's the one that's actually booking this. But another key piece of the case kind of emerged today of how the prosecution is going to weave this story of racketeering, sex trafficking, transportation across state lines for prostitution. They're basically laying the groundwork for this sweeping RICO case that if Combs is found guilty, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. He's currently 55 years old. And then what is happening was, she said that his three bodyguards, there were 3 or 4 main bodyguards that were always with him, driving her, that would do whatever he wanted them to do. She testified about how one time he put a gun in her purse because they were going into downtown LA for an event that she was hosting, and she felt very nervous about that. She testified about these bodyguards basically doing whatever he asked them to do. And then also there were these assistants. One assistant, she said, would take care of the money, would give her money, and that by a certain period of time, after that first year with him, he was controlling, he or his business, his employees of Bad Boy Worldwide were actually controlling every single aspect of her life. So I have to give her credit for maintaining her composure throughout, because she's looking across that courtroom. Combs is feet away from her at the table with the defense. His 6 oldest kids, not Baby Love, because Baby Love's too little, But his 6 oldest kids are there in the courtroom. His mother is in the courtroom. There's some Combs supporters who are there. A lot of media from all over the world. She maintained her composure. She maintained her dignity, but she stayed very factual and almost in some cases matter of fact describing how these things were going. And she said he really had a thing for baby oil. At one point, he had a pop-up pool, like a little pop-up kiddie pool set up in one of the hotels and had it filled with baby oil, which he wanted her to go into in her heels and in her clothes, which is just unthinkable, some of these things that were going on. But the abuse, the degradation, putting body fluids in her mouth and that type of thing, him and the male escort on various occasions. And she said she reached a certain point where she felt really, really worthless. And that was just so very sad, because you got a sense of just this extreme fatigue she must have felt, this powerlessness, and just this tremendous, just almost prison, and it's ironic because at the time that they were together, when they emerged as a public couple, it looked very glamorous. She's a stunningly gorgeous woman. He was always dressed to the nines and had all kinds of jewelry. We'd see them on red carpets. We'd see them at these A-list events. And then behind closed doors, it was basically a living hell for her and a real nightmare. But that's the latest here. The family just left the courtroom a short time ago, so the media crowd here is pretty much thinned out. I have a couple more assignments I have to do for Fox 5 News here in New York, which you can watch anywhere in the United States on the Fox Local New York app on your phone. I would suggest you get it because you can see all our stuff live. You can see my Street Soldier shows on Friday night. Please follow me on Instagram, Lisa Evers Blue Check Official, X Lisa Evers Blue Check Official, and on TikTok, Lisa Evers Live. So have a great day. That's the latest here from federal court. I'm Lisa Evers reporting for Fox 5 News, and we'll be keeping you posted throughout this whole thing. Take care.